You looking for some anime to watch, but you don't have a Funimation or Crunchyroll account? No problem. Let's go through our top anime to watch on Netflix right now. So starting at number 5, we have Evangelion. This series is an absolute cult classic. Now, I get it, it's an older anime series and there's new anime coming out all the time, but this is not one to skip. Have you heard of the movie Pacific Rim? Well, it was entirely based off the Evangelion franchise, but with none of the good things that made the anime series great. Evangelion is a mecha anime that is set 15 years after a worldwide catastrophic event. We focus on this new Tokyo called Tokyo 3. The main character is Shinji, who gets recruited by his father Gendo to the organization called Nerving to command a giant mecha called an Evangelion. They have to protect Earth from these alien-looking creatures, which are referred to as angels. This series takes a deep dive in the psychological and emotional aspects of being human on the brink of extinction. To put it bluntly, it's pretty psychologically up. You have kids piloting these mechas because they are more connected to them and can use them more efficiently, but you are literally sending out children into the most dangerous of battles. This pays a heavy toll on a kid, and we see Shinji struggle to keep his sanity. We watch our characters struggle with severe depression and mental breakdowns. It's definitely a heavy show that requires your full attention to keep up with what is actually going on. Oh, and some eye candy. But despite this sitting at my number 5 spot, this is a must watch for any anime fan. We got something a little different here for our number 4 spot, and that's a series called Japan Sinks 2020, which takes place after the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. A major earthquake hits Japan, and among the chaos you have two siblings, Ayumu and Go, who begin to try and escape the city with their family. The original story, Japan Sinks, was published back in 1973 and took Sakio Komatsu 9 years to complete and won the best-selling Earthquake Novel Award. The series is only 10 episodes long and doesn't take long at all to get right into the midst of the action, as we watch our characters have to constantly make terrifying and difficult and maybe even impossible decisions to not only stay alive, but keep their family alive too. This is definitely one of those animes that is just so bad that it's good. And that is why I still recommend watching it. This is a pretty easy series to jump right into, and since the episodes are only 25 minutes long, you could binge this easily in 1 or 2 days. And so if you want to try something a little different, but get that adrenaline pumping, then give Japan Sinks 2020 a chance. So I decided to add a movie to this list because this one is honestly just too special and amazing to just not talk about. The next anime on the list is A Silent Voice. This one is something truly special. I had a hard time not ranking this one as the number 1 anime to watch on this list. Let me start with saying this is a heavy story and incredibly emotional with some heavy topics. But that is what truly makes this story so touching and just simply so human. We start the story with a character named Shoya Ishida, who intends to commit suicide. He changes his mind at the last minute as he recalls his days in elementary school. A new student named Shoko is introduced to the classroom, and you notice right away something seems different about her. And immediately as she attempts to speak, we are informed that she is actually deaf. We see classmates immediately judge her and think she is weird, and despite Shoko trying so hard to be friends with everyone and integrate into the class, she seems to be only annoying everyone, and so all of her classmates start to bully her, especially Shoya, and she is completely depressed. And the anime does a beautiful job of portraying the emotional impact that someone is going through when being bullied and treated like this. The story picks up years later in high school, with Shoya being a social reject. He can't look anyone in the face, and you can see he is carrying a heavy guilt within himself. So Shoya visits the sign language center and hopes to find Shoko and tries to apologize to her for what he has done to her in the past. This is where the story really starts to shine, as we follow the journey of both Shoya and Shoko and the emotional roller coaster ride is truly only getting started, with more ups and downs for our characters, with incredibly emotional and impactful moments, both happy and sad. One thing I have to say is Shoko is maybe the most adorable character I've ever watched on screen, and you want to just simply protect her at all costs with what she's had to endure in life. This is hands down one of the greatest stories I've had the pleasure of watching, and if you are looking for something that is going to truly touch your heart, then get ready and have a box of tissues with you, because this will absolutely touch your heart. I'm really happy to have added this one to the list because I actually just finished watching this series for the first time and was immediately hooked, and that series was Soul Eater. We are immediately introduced to Maka, who is a Meister, and Soul, who is a weapon, and together they fight other demons, witches, and monsters. We are also introduced to Blackstar and Tsubaki, and also Death the Kid and his weapon Liz and Patty Thompson. The show revolves mainly around these sets of characters, and we get to watch them progress and grow as you typically would see in other shonens. What makes this shonen stand out and feel a little different is the Tim Burton approach to the design choices. It has a real Halloween feel to it, kinda like The Nightmare Before Christmas. The academy that the students learn in is led by the Grim Reaper himself, and the kids go on missions to learn and grow to master abilities such as Soul Resonance and use powerful attacks like Witch Hunter and later Genie Hunter, which transforms the scythe into a larger energy looking blade capable of destroying evil. Hands down, my favorite character is Stein. He's a scientist, but also the most powerful Meister in the series. He always has the urge to dissect and tinker to learn how things work, but this curiosity makes him incredibly intimidating, and when he's about to fight, he becomes sadistic or even psychotic in nature, but has some incredibly powerful techniques, showcasing just how powerful he is relative to everyone else we see in the series outside of the Grim Reaper himself. The characters really grow on you, and the series has a good balance of comedy mixed in with all the action, and also has some really great animation to back it up. This series also came out in 2008 and definitely holds up and doesn't feel dated. So if you are looking to dig into something fun and are really into other shonens like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and all the others, then you will definitely really enjoy this series too. Hands down, the number one choice goes to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The original anime series was simply called Full Metal Alchemist, which was also pretty good, but pretty early on in the anime series, it diverts itself from the manga and completely follows its own story as the anime was catching up to the manga. So once the manga completed, they brought back the anime again, but this time following the manga from beginning to end, giving us a more true adaptation and able to call the series canon. Full Metal Alchemist, hands down, is one of the greatest anime series you will probably ever watch in your lifetime. I know many of you here probably have seen it already, which left me a little reluctant to make it my number one choice, but truthfully, the series is just that good. I'm hoping that some of you watching this have not seen it and will take the opportunity to truly sit down and watch it. We are introduced to Edward and Alphonse Elric, who are brothers being raised by their mother as their father left them at a young age, but we are told he is a gifted alchemist, and when their mother died, they attempted a taboo alchemy in human transmutation to bring their mother back from the dead. However, this goes horribly wrong. It almost kills Edward, ripping his arm clean off, and completely takes the body of Alphonse. And simply from the last-ditch effort and quick thinking of Edward, he was able to save the soul of his brother, which is now bonded to a metal suit of armor. Edward makes it his life mission to find a way to get Alphonse's body back, and they believe this is possible with an item called the Philosopher's Stone. This show takes on so many cool twists and turns, going down a rabbit hole of conspiracies, being hidden from the government, and the horrific things alchemy can truly do. I truly wish I could rewatch this series and experience everything for the first time again. This is no doubt one you do not want to skip. It is 64 episodes long, but believe me when I say this will probably end up being one of your favorite anime series of all time. That is the top 5 choices to watch on Netflix right now. I will be making another top 5 in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Which of these series will you be checking out first and adding to your list? That's all for this one. See you in the next video.